passing day. The financial struggle was another problem that she was going through. Things were already rough for her. But what happened next left her utterly traumatic. Her landlord evicted her. She didn't have a roof to live under anymore. This series of unfortunate events was
Goodbye, daylight.
another parking ticket by the same officer. No matter how bad the situation was, Sarah was a strong mother. She did her best to make sure she's there to provide for her son. However, everyone has their breaking point. So instead, it was a doctor's appointment for temperament. It was a lot more than what she expected. The bill was way too much. With all the frustration built inside, Sarah had a heated argument.
He just backed up and stood up. Why? That little baby bad.
To cover the co-payment, she had to overdraft her account, which left her with only $15 to her name. With that little amount of money left, she still took her son to the restaurant called Denny's so that he could have an excellent breakfast. What an amazing mother.
You know PlayStation 5 come out?
Well aware of his mother's financial struggle, thanks to the doctor. He was determined to
tell my PlayStation 4
or the other. While having breakfast, Stephen noticed that a few tables away, the same officer, Officer Urabe, who had given his mother a series of parking tickets, was also having breakfast. What crossed Stephen's mind was something that would change everything forever. Stephen wanted to grow up to become a cop. This was his lifelong dream. Whenever he saw officers doing their duty and serving the nation, he would simply start feeling overjoyed and wouldn't stop looking at them. Stephen looked at Officer Urabe and thought of doing something that the officer never saw coming. He told his plan to his mother, and she agreed to it being perfect. Stephen was a very shy boy, so he had to muster up a lot of courage to do such a thing. Well, that's what he did as he walked towards the counter to speak to the waitress, while his mother watched him anxiously. The waitress, after listening to Stephen's request, went inside and came back with a piece of paper and a pen. After writing on it, Stephen slowly walked towards the officer and handed over a piece of paper. Officer Urabe was initially confused with what was going on. Still then, after looking at what was written over it, he broke down into tears. The paper was actually Officer Urabe's receipt for the breakfast, which Stephen decided to pay on his behalf, from the money he received on his 9th birthday a few days ago. But the beautiful gesture doesn't just end there. Stephen also wrote a note over it, which said, "I want to be you when I grow up. Thank you for your service, Stephen Cummings." The officer jumped out of his chair, overwhelmed with emotions. He not just embraced the little kid, but also asked him if it's possible to get a picture with him. The little guy got really excited because not only he gets to meet one of his heroes, but he also gets to take a picture with him. It was a charming gesture by both of them. After learning who Stephen's mother was and what her story was, Officer Urabe decided to do the right thing. He took out his cell phone and made a phone call that would change Sarah's life. Officer Urabe called his captain at the Tonawanda Police Department and told him to drop the parking tickets as soon as possible. And with that, this beautiful story spread everywhere, from departments to the internet. It gained massive amounts of likes and shares, and tons of appreciation and good wishes from the people of all walks of life. Officer Urabe and Stephen became best friends. The story was a great source of motivation for the young officer. It meant everything. It meant that I'm supposed to wake up every morning and put on this uniform and go out there and do what I do. You know, it means that I need to keep trying to be a good example to all of these young guys, said the officer to ABC7 News. Not just that, but a high number of men in blue uniforms came forward and showed their gratitude to the family for being such a fantastic support. This story teaches us that little actions can literally bring a massive difference in people's lives. Just a piece of paper, a single note, and a beautiful gesture not only brought a change in Sarah's life, but also became a source of motivation to every cop out there doing their best to serve the nation. Well, that's a wrap for today. Thank you for watching. Tap one of the 2 videos on your screen and stay tuned for another engrossing story. Goodbye.
I spawned in a shack with the with this what's it called, the random. We're doing the generator.
Okay, I'm back.
You hear me?
This map I do not have dead hardware. I have downstairs.
What did you say? I don't even have my toolbox on.
So I had that Regal Shroud and I ain't got that one person.
What's her name?
Representations 400. I think it's a
hag.
And the new Fury.
Extreme
I'm lagging again.
Hours later, she receives a chilling text that leaves her cold. Before we begin, do us a favor. Also, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be inspired by these heartwarming stories every day. Knock-knock jokes have been mainstream American humor since the early 20th century. It's a question and answer joke. The pun, with its repetitive
Bro,
lagging.
lagging.
It was understood by people of
Bro,
all ages.
Chanel, why keep on lagging?
Mostly seen as children's story of a specific teen and her niece can be
Bro.
an exception. Teens are often misunderstood because of their on and off behaviors. Some say that they are lazy, impulsive, and are totally immersed in social media. Maybe not all. Savannah Jones, a 14-year-old teen, was from Montclair, California. She has a 4-year-old niece named Zoe. She was tasked to babysit the child for a while.